Hello and welcome to another guide video. In this video, I will walk you through each ending for the horror game Paper Lily Chapter 1. Let's begin. Paper Lily is a horror game with 13 different endings. Each ending requires you to complete specific events in a specific order. The first ending is the True Ending 1-1 Against All Odds. This is the canon ending of the game, and it's a pretty easy one to get. You simply need to make your way to the end of the game. After defeating Miss Knives, Lacey and Sai find themselves back at the facility. Lacey is seen passed out while Sai is leaning against the wall. When Lacey wakes up and realizes she was only out for 14 minutes, she scolds Sai for watching her sleep, but Sai clarifies by saying he checked out the rooms first and then points to a door nearby. Sai compliments her skills at dodging knives, teasingly asking if she's secretly a demon in disguise. Lacey feels disheartened that she hasn't found Red or the lighthouse yet, but Sai reminds her that she's still alive and there's still time. Lacey reluctantly agrees and they continue on their journey. They stumble upon Miss Knives trapped in a cage, although in napkin form. They decide to open the cage, noticing her scattered belongings. Sai asked how long she had been in prison, but Lacey was unsure. Before they departed, Lacey apologized to Miss Knives for disturbing her. After discovering the second cell, they found the Spider, who was much bigger than before. Spider was grateful to see them and didn't mind being locked up, as they found entertainment with their cell neighbor. When asked about Miss Knives, Spider assured she would recover and weave her web again. Spider also shared that Miss Knives receives visitors, one of them being Red, who won't return soon. Before leaving, Spider gave Lacey 3 fragment doorknobs, suggesting they may be helpful in their search for the lighthouse. Lacey and Sai find a cursed door without a doorknob. Realizing they must use a return doorknob to open it, they discover a garden with a door that can only be opened by placing a paper lily in the vase. Just as Lacey is about to proceed, Sai brings up her bucket list and proposes creating a new one centered around things to do once she is cured. Sai even suggests treating him to her favorite dessert, providing Lacey with something to anticipate. Lacey is unsure how to react, but Sai encourages her to focus on the positive things and keep moving forward, believing it would be a shame to give up. Lacey agrees and replaces the real Lily with a paper one to unlock the door. She decides to bring the real Lily along as well. Sai notices how calm Lacey is in this strange situation, and she explains that she sees it as just another part of the puzzle. She wonders if she'll see him on the other side, and Sai assures her she will. Lacey then walks to the door while Sai takes out the paper Lily and closes the door to the real world, heading back through the cursed door. The next ending is Dead End 1-2, Salt is for Cooking. To get this ending, you simply need to abandon the ritual by waiting too long to leave the house or re-entering it right after you leave it. After Lacey wakes up from her dream, she calls the number she was given. The bus arrives, but she changes her mind and decides not to get on it. She re-enters the house and decides to clean up after the ritual. She remembers that she left instructions on her PC to reverse the ritual. As she walks into her house, she notices more footprints and sees messages scribbled on the door. It says she spends too much time hiding from the world and questions if she's ever stopped hiding. When Lacey goes to her room, she tries to use her computer but realizes the internet is not working. Luckily, she manages to come across the post she saved in the form of a PDF file. The post discusses the ritual called Bus Ritual and advises there are no instructions provided if something goes wrong or if the bus doesn't come. One user warns about the serious consequences of leaving rituals incomplete and asks for a safety precaution. Another user, with some experience in banishing spirits from their family's work at the shrine, details the steps of the ritual, untying the red string from the phone and spreading salt in front of any entrance door to their house. And so, Lacey sets off to undo the ritual and gets scared when she sees a creature in the mirror before disappearing. She completes the steps and goes to bed but hears noises, and suddenly an injured hero appears at the foot of the bed, transforms into a demon, and kills her. The next ending is Dead End 1-3, A Walk into the Dark. To get this ending, when you regain control after waking up in the dream world, go south and up the staircase to find 2 more staircases going south. Take either one of these staircases and walk south towards the nothingness. Then head back north. This will cause Lacey to get lost. Scenes will keep playing here until we regain control of Lacey, where the bed usually is. From here, go north where the large door is now open. Go through it to see the ending. After the ritual is performed, Lacey falls asleep on the bus and has the same dream, yet this time, she spots some unfamiliar stairs leading into the darkness. Unsure of where they'll take her, but feeling the need to wake up before she gets too far, she takes a chance and decides to venture down the stairs anyway. As she walks through the darkness, Lacey remembers being in the dream situation many times. She remains calm, knowing that eventually she will wake up. However, being unable to keep track of time, she starts worrying about finding her way back, but hopes that something in the real world will wake her up. She notices she no longer feels hungry, thirsty, or tired as time passes. The sensory deprivation begins to affect her, causing Lacey to admit that she can't handle it anymore and desperately wants to wake up. She tries to pinch herself but can't feel any pain, fearing she may be losing her sanity as she can't hear any sounds, see any colors, or smell anything. Lacey finally cries out for help, saying she'd rather die than stay in this place any longer. As she screams, the world around her turns red. With that, she finds herself back at the starting point, only to discover that her bed, the stairs, and the path from her dream are missing. Strangely, the once closed white door is now open, glowing brightly. Lacey decides to walk through the door, and the screen abruptly cuts to the black as she steps through. The next ending is Dead End 1-4 Carried Away. You can get this ending after waking up in the bus. Once you wake up, simply wait for the 10-second timer to run out. This will automatically trigger a scene where Lacey sits back down and continues riding the bus. Eventually, you'll regain control of Lacey and the bus will be empty. Exit the bus, and Lacey will find herself in a strange area. From here, head south until you reach the next area. You can enter the door here to find arms located inside a container. Head back outside and go to the top of the stairs and enter the door here to trigger a scene and the ending. Lacey ignores the advice she had read on online forums and chose to stay on the bus after it reached the end of the line. She falls back asleep and wakes up in what appears to be a bus station. The area is decorated with unusual street signs on the wall, and the garage doors are locked. Lacey notices a bus stacked on top of another bus, alongside some trash cans and wooden crates nearby. As she further explores, she discovers a white door on the left. Upon opening it, she is shocked to find a large fridge filled with severed arms of various sizes, both left and right. Feeling scared, she leaves the room and heads back upstairs, where she sees a bright light coming from under a door. Assuming it's an exit, she makes her way to it. However, before entering, she bumps into two weird creatures, the one-eyed monster and the long-faced monster. The one-eyed monster suggests knocking her out, but the long-faced monster does it so hard that she gets seriously injured. The one-eyed monster scolds the long-faced monster for hurting her, saying there's now a hole in her. Lacey has to choose whether to scream or stay quiet. Both choices lead to the same outcome. The one-eyed monster mentions that if Lacey dies before extraction, the boss will be upset and might even kill them. Lacey closes her eyes and the screen turns black. Later, the doctor questions why Lacey is bleeding, and the one-eyed monster apologizes and shifts the blame to the bus driver, saying they don't want Lacey to escape. However, the doctor interrupts their excuses, reminding them that there have been very few subjects lately and that they must refrain from snacking on them. The doctor threatens to report the situation to Glenn, leaving both monsters visibly scared. The doctor sarcastically questions if they think it's okay to harm Lacey just because she's young, stressing the importance of not interfering with her. Lacey hears the conversation, slowly opening her eyes, and realizes she's tied up in a strange doctor operating room, with her left hand already being ripped off. Feeling her breathing, the doctor asks the one-eyed monster to hand over the tools to extract her, killing her in the process. Next is Dead End 1-5, Become Snack. You can get this ending in the forest area of the game. Once you reach a train station, purchase a bag of potato chips from the vending machine outside the station. There's a coin in the trash can next to the vending machine. When you do so, you're asked if you want to open it up and eat them. Do it. In doing so, a scene will play where the ending triggers. After fixing some signs, Lacey finds herself at the train station, where she stumbles upon a vending machine. With a coin in hand, she purchases a bag of chips, despite not feeling hungry. Lacey eats the chips to keep her energy up, but to her surprise, the ingredients on the chip packet make no sense, and there was a warning about possible side effects like sleepiness, hallucinations, and headaches. Feeling alarmed, Lacey looks for a safe place but collapses in the middle of a dirt road. As she loses consciousness, she experiences a peaceful sleep, which is a rare occurrence for her, as she usually has nightmares in the dark place filled with bad memories. Suddenly, she hears crunching noises and realizes she cannot move. Waking up, she witnesses a creature eating her. She questions whether it's a hallucination or not, but the pain is real. As she struggles to breathe and move, she pleads for help and wishes to go back to sleep to escape the agony. The creature stares directly at the camera before everything fades to black. The next ending is Dead End 1-6, Ground Swallowed Me Up. When you're in the forest, you'll reach a little campsite right past the daylight gate. To get the ending, you'll need to stand in the center of the fairy ring and interact with a mushroom to get eaten alive. There are two possible outcomes for this ending. Lacey comes across a circle with a warning sign and accidentally steps inside, where a Venus flytrap consumes her. As she finds herself trapped within, she feels sick and unable to move and realizes it's digesting her. In a panic, she tries to fight back, insisting that she doesn't want to die that way, only to end up burning her skin with the plant's digestive acid. Ultimately, she reflects that her fate was sealed when she crossed a forbidden circle. In the second version of this ending, Lacey stumbles upon a circle only to get caught in a Venus flytrap. However, she frees herself using scissors and ends up in the fairy ring, spotting another Venus flytrap devouring something. She opens it to find Aoi inside. They decide to escape together, but encounter strange sights like buses, buildings, and large skeletons along the way. Eventually, they come across a large hole leading down in fairy heads. They end up reaching a dead end in a small bathtub. As they start to lose motivation, Lacey notices Aoi melting and suggests they go through the drain to find a way out. As time passes, Lacey regrets sending Aoi down the drain, wishing she had said goodbye to Hiro when she had the chance. With her phone battery long dead, she loses hope that Aoi will return. The next ending is Dead End 1-7 Mortal Immortalized. To get this ending, you'll want to visit the Sculpture Demon. Once you reach his house, head to the bottom floor where you'll see the demon on the other side of the room. When you attempt to talk to him, he will get very angry and chase you. As you are running to escape him, make sure you take the exit via the western entrance to get the ending. Lacey arrives at the sculptor's house and finds him staring at a list. She interacts with him, but he spots her and starts to chase her. Lacey tries to escape to the west but gets trapped in a dead end surrounded by flowers. The sculptor eventually finds her and the scene fades to black. The next moment, Lacey becomes a statue and a part of the sculptor's collection. He admires the statue's perfection and timelessness and wonders if it's time to open his gallery. The next ending is Dead End 1-8 Part of Your World. To get this ending, visit the shack in the center of the little pond with the goldfish in a bowl. Inside, interact with the goldfish, and when asked to take it, take it. When you pick it up, you'll hear a loud noise. Head outside and the water will be all red. As you now explore the area, you'll see a bunch of dead rabbits on the ground. Eventually, you'll come across a white rabbit that wasn't there before. Pick it up to get the ending. Lacey heads to the lake but is stopped by a sea monster blocking her boat. She wants to splash the monster with water, but the faucet in the lake hut isn't working. Inside the hut, Lacey ignores the instructions to feed the goldfish 2 types of algae and takes the goldfish out, thinking she could feed it to the monster. Then the ground shakes and the water turns to blood and all the rabbits die. The boat is gone and the paths are blocked. Lacey spots a new white rabbit and approaches it, only for a giant hand to grab her from the water. The hand opens and reveals a fish unharmed. But Lacey and the rabbit are gone. The hand returns the fish to the bowl and everything returns to normal. And Lacey has been turned into a fish and kept there forever. The next ending is Dead End 1-9 Doubt. You can get this ending in the facility. When you reach the fork where you can enter either of the 2 dungeons, enter the one on the left. We go inside and Sai will wait for us outside. You'll notice that this is where we first started. Head into the cell where we push the box to the vent and enter the vent again. Once you're on the other side, make your way back to Rune. Talk to him about Sai and then go make your way back to Sai. Once you get close enough, you'll trigger the ending scene. While exploring the facility, Lacey returns to the prison room where she originated. Before stepping in, Sai warns her that he will wait outside because the door will only open from the outside. However, once she's in the room, Lacey considers escaping through the vent, potentially leaving Sai behind to get rid of him. She reunites with Rune and asks him what he knows about Sai. However, Rune admits he doesn't know much about Sai as he tends to keep to himself and doesn't share much. Although Lacey questions whether Sai is a demon, Rune denies it but mentions that there's something unusual about him even though he appears human. Deciding to look for Sai, Lacey is shocked to find him already dead and torn apart. Confused, she struggles to accept his fate and chooses to flee the facility instead of facing the repercussions of leaving him behind. As she's about to leave, she sees something shining near the gate, but before she can pick it up, a creature drags her into the dark and kills her. The next ending is Dead End 1-10 Sensory Overload. For this ending, when messing around with the electrical panel, you'll want to ensure the door-looking icon is on. Once you've powered up the door, return to the base and on the northern side you'll find the door of the symbol. Since it has power, press the button next to it to open the door. To trigger this ending, you'll want to check the robe on the chair in the back and put it on. Lacey and Sai discover an electrical panel in the mechanical room and successfully place Fuse 5 in its proper place, unlocking a previously inaccessible large door that leads to a conference room. Sai begins to invent fantastical theories about the room's purpose, such as being the headquarters for world domination or a portal to other dimensions. Lacey, on the other hand, interrupts Sai's speculations, frustrated by her worsening headache. As they looked around, they spotted a coat hanging on a chair with a note labeled Meeting 221 Notes. The notes mentioned that the group said the conference was getting fed up with Lilith and considered removing her. Lacey then decides to wear the coat despite it being too big, finding it comfy. Just when she's about to learn who wore the coat before her, she faints in Sai's arms and starts having intense visions. Turns out these visions seem to be flashbacks from Lilith's past, showing her colleagues use violence to get rid of her, leading up to her losing a hand. Sai tries to wake her up, but it's too late. The next ending is Dead End 1-11 Deep Sea Misadventure. For this ending, when messing around with the electrical panel, you want to power up the elevator without draining the water. Once you do, get into any of the 2 elevators, and when prompted which floor to go to B4F. Lacey and Sai successfully fix the elevator and decide to go down to the B4F level, but the elevator stops with a splash. Lacey tries to go back up, but the buttons don't work anymore and the elevator is slowly filling with water. Lacey reassures Sai that there would be an emergency exit, but they both realize they're unsure what to do. A few minutes later, Lacey suggests that there may be an exit on the ceiling, and they can wait for the water to fill the elevator, allowing them to float and open it. However, despite Sai's attempts to remove the ceiling panel, they remain stuck. When Sai asks what to do next, Lacey is silent, overwhelmed by the fear of drowning. The screen goes black, and Lacey chooses to forget the events that followed, declaring drowning was the worst way to die. The next ending is Dead End 1-12 What's at Stake. For this ending, we need to play through the area until we have all the items necessary to burn and ready to take on Miss Knives. Once you have the items, head back into the room with the fireplace and start the fire. Once you do this, you must burn the items in the wrong order. Lacey manages to gather all the items needed to defeat Miss Knives, but unfortunately, she unknowingly burns them in the wrong order. This causes everything to fall apart, with doors vanishing and paintings opening their eyes. The ground starts to crumble beneath them, leading Stacy and Sai to fall into what appears to be a Miss Knives dimension. They both survive the fall, although Lacey's hurts her foot and Sai was bleeding. Sai tells Lacey to go on without him while he recovers. Lacey agrees, but Sai asks her to come back for him later. As Lacey searches for a way out, she encounters Miss Knives standing next to a person tied to a stake with knives. Miss Knives obviously whispers that she is back until she turns to Lacey, saying burning, before stabbing her and tying her to the stake. The final ending is Dead End 1-13 Stuffed Animal. For this ending, once you regain control after the fight against Miss Knives, head left and return to the base. You'll see several primal demons dead along the way. Once at the base, save your game with the crow and then head north to find a plushie. Walk up to it to get the ending. Lacey and Sai, having just defeated Miss Knives, decide to head back to the facility. To their surprise, they stumble upon some dead primal demons. In the middle of the croft pass, they spot a stuffed animal resembling a bunny. Sai approaches the bunny, calling it an abomination and pointing out the lack of legs and the mismatched appearance. Lacey tries to warn him to stay away, but suddenly the bunny's head enlarges and devours them both. Later, an unknown person discovers the bunny and asks if it is finished cleaning. They notice something in its mouth and tell the bunny to spit it out. The bunny refuses initially, but reluctantly complies and spits out the bodies of Lacey and Sai, much to their annoyance. They scold the bunny for the mess and refuse to eat whatever it had in its mouth, offering it back to the bunny. However, they urge the bunny to hurry up or they'll leave without it. The scene ends with the person swearing and feeling creeped out by the surroundings. Congratulations! You now know how to find every ending for Paper Lily Chapter 1. Which ending did you find during your playthrough? And which ending was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe for more Paper Lily and horror gaming. I'll see you next time.